Hi, Jackie from Chattavation again. Do you remember earlier, we're currently August 2020, but do you remember earlier this year when the COVID the COVID-19 stuff was all quite new, and we'd just gone into lockdown, and we were all in the same boat. We were all, apart from key workers, including shop workers, and a lot of people that we didn't realise before was so necessary to our lives, integral to our lives. But you remember when we were all in the same boat, and we all made those pacts, deals to be closer, to look out for each other, to be kind to each other, to stop anybody feeling socially isolated. I remember at one point being really amazed with various people I communicated with, whether in person when I was out on my runs or my walks, or whether I was doing other forms of communication with people. I was really pleasantly surprised and really pleased with the efforts that everybody, or most people, can't say everybody, can I, because I don't really know, but with the efforts that people generally were making to reach out to each other, to be there, to make sure that no one was left alone. Yeah. So there were Zoom groups. I'm sure there were other forums. I can't remember the word I'm supposed to use there, but other ways that people were making efforts to stay in contact when we couldn't have physical contact with people, when we were trapped in our own homes, apart from if we had work responsibilities and commitments that allowed us to get out. Yay! So we were allowed out for a little bit of exercise every day, and apart from that, and work, if that was our role, we were trapped in. So suddenly people, I think that a lot of people who prior to that had actually been very lonely, sat at home or wherever, had no visitors, because who's got time to go and visit people? We're all way too busy doing our works, doing our lives, doing our stuff, living. We're all way too busy to think about that person who might be at home alone. And suddenly, we all start visiting virtually or phoning, because suddenly we actually realise what it's like to be lonely and away from people. I cannot imagine what it must have felt like over this time for those people who are in care and nursing homes. I just can't imagine. And those people that didn't have any social interactions. Think about how you felt at the prospect of not having human interaction. Think about the efforts you made, the lengths you went to make sure that you had social engagement. We participated in, and we're still doing it actually, in a nightly quiz. It was, I mean, crikey, the poor young lad who's been running it, he must be so fed up of us. Shout out to you, Nathan. Isolation education quiz. I keep doing that. But yeah, it was a lifeline for so many of us. And as lockdowns eased, we're having them less frequently. But I think a lot of people actually had something like that to maintain some degree of social interaction. As lockdown is easing, more people are going back to work, more people are allowed out, people are allowed to go to more sociable venues. Are we still keeping in contact with those other people who prior to the lockdown were lonely. During lockdown, we weren't quite as lonely because all of a sudden we've realised what it was like to feel lonely and on our own and trapped in one place. All of a sudden, we included those people. What are we doing now? Are we making those efforts to still include them people? Are we making those efforts to still make contact with those people on a regular basis? Or are they reverting back to being lonely again? Probably never thought about it in this way. Probably just thought that you're getting on with your life and that whoever will be fine again, because they were fine before, so they'll be fine now, and I'm much better now, so I don't need to keep in contact with them quite as much, so they probably don't need to keep in contact with me quite as much. Just listen to what I've just said. That was a horrible thing for me to say, wasn't it? A horrible thing for me to think and say out loud. I wonder how many of you have actually thought that. Yay, go on, confess, be honest. Yeah, you're only being honest with yourself. You're not actually voicing it with me or anybody. It's your own little secret. But if you're guilty of that, then think about ways where you can try and help people who might be lonely not be lonely. Think about ways that you can continue or reinstigate, I don't know if that's the right word, that contact again to help them to feel less lonely. Just because you're not feeling as lonely as you were doesn't mean that you can suddenly just tip them off the board. They don't matter anymore. They matter. And it might actually be more painful for them now because they had that experience and that reminder of what inclusion was like. It might be more painful for them now because it's actually that realisation that, oh, Jackie doesn't need me anymore. She's put me to the back of the pile again. Oh, so painful, so painful. So think about trying to help other people who might be struggling with loneliness. Whatever you do it in nice ways, yeah? Don't make it seem like a chore. Because when people feel like they're a chore, it's worse than not doing anything in the first place, I think. So do it with a kind heart. So this is Jackie from Chattavation doing a return to work and at work workshops for employees. The first one out there doing workshops for employees. Of course, managers and HR are more than welcome to attend too. So think about looking at my website. It's chattavation.com. My videos are on YouTube at Chattavation. And see about maybe bringing me into your workplace, whether that's physically or whether that's virtually, and we can do virtual classrooms. Occupational health qualified, years and years and years of experience supporting people to be at work. Yeah, it's not always as easy as we think it is. The workshops focus on reasonable adjustments and communication and that sense of control. That's what my model is. So thanks for your time. As I said, it's Jackie. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell others about me, tell your bosses about me. See if I can maybe make a difference with your workplace. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Bye. Bye.